This perp back with another video, and I just got out of watching Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Now, me personally, I really enjoyed the first Winnie the Pooh movie that came out last year. I know a lot of people have been very mixed or just outright have disdain for this universe of them taking our beloved childhood characters that we've seen from like Disney channels and stuff like that, and or just fairy tales in general, and giving them that horror twist. I was all in on that idea, but now that they have like started to build up this whole entire universe, the Poohniverse, I'm locked in. And this was a Fathom event. So in the beginning of the movie, before it starts, you have the people involved talking about their plans for this Poohniverse, and the Pinocchio one seems so interesting because how they broke it down is that this Pinocchio is going to skin somebody and wear their skin to feel like a real boy. I was like, yo, that right there sold me. And the Bambi, the little clip that we saw of Bambi, exciting. I'm excited for that. I really want to see where they take this, and I like the fact that they completely embrace what they are, and I wish more people could do that and just not take things so serious. These movies are fun. And now we have the second movie where it's night and day. If you compare this first one to the second one, the budget is infinitely, this actually feels like a full-fledged movie compared to the first one, where it's like that was kind of like a concept similar to like the first Terrifier, where it's just like kind of like a demo just to kind of see if it can kind of gain an audience. And yeah, I really like the look of this movie. It's just way more pleasing on the eyes. You know what I'm saying? It feels like an actual movie. A different Christopher Robin this time around. Really like that actor. We dive a lot more into Christopher's kind of mental state, and I like how the movie kicks off, how the first one kicked off, where we get this kind of storybook kind of like background or just origin of just what's going on to kind of give you this setup. And they pick up a little after the first movie, you know what I'm saying? But at this time, everybody is kind of looking at Christopher as like the murderer, because they're not really believing the fact that there are these human hybrid animal creatures that are living in the woods. So they decided to kind of go on to this witch hunt, and they unpack a lot in this. I feel like they kind of pull like a BVS, as far as there's a lot of information to kind of set up some of these future movies that we're going to get in this Poohniverse. But I really like that they took the time to dive into Christopher's mental state. You know, he's a doctor now, but still some people are kind of giving him the side eye. They don't really believe him. They feel like he's just up to no good, or he's just bad luck. So that's affecting his actual life and things with his family. We see a lot more about his family and his ties with Pooh, which I was really digging that when we get those reveals as far as Pooh goes. And let's talk about the creatures real quick, because we have Owl in here. I really like Owl. Owl's the one that kind of puts the battery in Pooh's back and says, look, man, it's time for us to kind of come out of hiding and get revenge on Ashdown. And so this leads to Pooh and them getting revenge on the town. I really like Owl. Owl's design reminds me of a little bit of the Creeper mixed with like Freddy Krueger's face, but if he had like a beak. But even though Tigger is more of the Freddy Krueger character, and I also like the meta in this movie, where they made a movie based on the events that happened to Christopher, and they used the first like clips from the first movie to kind of put in this movie. I really like that touch. There's a lot of like little Easter eggs to other horror movies, like there's a character named Freddy and stuff like that. A lot of interesting things going on in this movie that I didn't really expect. Like, I feel like with the budget that they had, they did a lot more and they didn't really waste too much. And I feel like they said that there is a director's cut, because I think the kills in this are really dope. Especially like Tigger. I was getting kind of nervous because it's like they kind of keep him in the shadows, but that final act where you see everybody kind of turn up, you see Tigger and Pooh turn up, man, that was dope. My only nitpick though is some of the scenes were kind of hard to make out. You can obviously see a person being like absolutely murdered, but like there's some type of cutaways that are just, I don't know, it was a little bit sloppy, a little bit messy. But that aside, that being my little nitpicks or negatives, doesn't take away from my enjoyment of this movie. I feel like they improved on a lot of things, and there's still some things that they need to improve on going forward. And I am kind of still skeptical on how this is all going to come together as far as the Poohniverse, the actual movie. And I'm all in. I like the brutality that was took it up a notch. I like Owl's character. I can't wait to see more of his character. He's very menacing. I like Tigger's character. Like I said, he is kind of pretty much the Freddy Krueger, just on how they handle his humor and whatnot. And I want to see more of him. I want to see more of Piglet. And I'm fascinated by Pooh. I think Pooh has the potential to be not a horror icon per se, but I feel like this movie, if you didn't like the first movie, you're probably not gonna like this one, but I would say give this movie a chance for sure, because I feel like there's aspects of it you might end up liking more than the first. This one definitely feels more like a full movie that took a lot of time, cramming a lot of information into this movie where they could have kind of scaled it back, or I don't know. I don't feel like it overstayed its welcome. I don't feel like I was ever bored throughout this whole entire movie. But I am excited to see the next movie, the Bambi movie. Just that Pinocchio one, I got my eyes on, but I'm just really curious to see how they're going to pull this off. But if you get around to checking this movie out, let me know your thoughts of it in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.